So today I have a couple really cool accessories, one for an iPad over here, one for a MacBook. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the video. So full disclosure from the very beginning of the video, I was contacted by a company called Cabletime, and I'll show you the logo right up here. It's called Cabletime. So I thought for sure, hey, these guys must make cables. Think about that, right? And of course they do, but hold on a second. That's not what this video is about. But I went to their website, and obviously here they are. They're making a ton of different cables, high quality cables. So I'll have a link in the description if you want to check them out, if you need a cable, obviously. But they make so much more than that, and I wasn't aware of that. So I went to their main homepage, and you can see it right here. They make docks and hubs and power chargers and everything else. Really good MacBook accessories. So they sent me two of them sitting right here, and I'm going to go through both of these. One's for an iPad, one's for a MacBook, and you can skip ahead. I'll kind of put like a chapter in there if you want to check out either or if you don't have an iPad or if you don't have a MacBook. But definitely stay tuned because these are both high quality accessories that I think you're going to be shocked at. Both have kind of secret little hidden features, and the cost is good on them and the quality is really high. This is just a product showcase. I haven't had them long enough, but I just want to introduce you to these products, and then I'll have the links in the description. You can definitely check them out. So let's start with the iPad accessory I have right here, and I'm going to go ahead and put that down. If you look at the website over here, this is called the 8-in-1 USB-C hub with foldable stand for iPad Pro Android tablet. $55.99, you can see a picture of it right there. So obviously what makes this so special? First of all, you saw the description, it said iPad Pro, but what gives there? Well, let me just show you. I'm using this actually with the 10th gen iPad right there, the nice gold one, see it there? So this will work with any device, basically iPad that has USB-C. So the 9th gen wouldn't work because it's got the Lightning, but this does because it's got USB-C. So you're talking the new Air, the new iPad Pro, it will work perfectly with that. So what is this device, and why is this actually worth $55.99? I mean, that would be expensive just for a stand, wouldn't it? Well, let's stay tuned here for a second because I'm going to go through all the features and show you exactly why this might be worth that money, and I actually think it is. Okay, for starters, let's just talk about the build quality. It's all aluminum construction, and as you can see, this thing will actually fold down, and I'll show you close-ups as I'm talking about this, but this folds down into like a really portable kind of device here. You can throw this in a bag in your pocket and then take it with you. And then when you actually want to use it, you basically unfold it. And the stand has a really, really high quality hinge here. And you can actually move it to basically be any orientation with the iPad that you want to sit at. So whether you're typing or drawing on it, you can move that so the hinge actually gives you a lot of different rotation as far as how you want the iPad to sit. So that's really cool too. And it's very, very strong. A little thing flips out here and you actually put the iPad on here. It has rubber on both sides so it doesn't scratch the, the back of your iPad as well. I know a lot of people like to keep those things pristine. So that's just number one. And obviously as a stand, it works really well because there's all the weights behind it and you can push on it really hard and it doesn't really move at all. So that's a great feature, but that doesn't make it worth $55.99. So actually what does? So this is not just a stand, obviously, it's a hub. So basically on one side of it, it has one connection over here, and this is going to be the host connection. So they do give you a USB-C cable in the box. You can see it right here. And you connect one side into here and one side into the actual device that you're connecting to. Whether it's an iPad, or you can even put something like, they test this on iPhones and everything else, even Android phones that have USB-C, you can actually put something like this on here and you can see that it holds the phone perfectly as well. So there you go. But overall, anything that has USB-C, even a MacBook can connect into this thing, believe it or not. So that one side has this, you connect this into the host device, but on the other side there's a whole world of different connections here. So it has a USB-C connector right here at 5 gigabits per second, two USB-A at 5 gigabit per second, and these are going to be good for like connecting external keyboards or hard drives and stuff. It's got an audio jack, 2.5 millimeter audio jack here, and then two SD card readers. It's got the large the SD card and then the TF card reader as well. So if you thought that wasn't enough, obviously in the back there's actually a couple additional ports. It's got an HDMI, and they claim it's UHD 4K at 60. Now, I tested it, and I was able to connect perfectly. I didn't actually look at the hertz I was running at, but everything worked flawlessly on it, so it's no problem there. And then also, on this other side, it's got up to 100-watt PD charging pass-through. So if you connect actually, some kind of a charger to this, it'll pass through the power and then charge the device for you. So all that's built into this little teeny form factor that folds up for you. And I think it's actually a really high-quality device there. It worked perfectly like this. I said it works with your phone, and it's only $55. So if if you have an iPad Pro and you want to have a whole bunch of additional things for storage and everything, this will work perfectly. I actually tested, flash drives, like little flash drives on here. I tested drives like this sitting over here, which are going to be basically a 10 gigabit per second drive. And everything was very fast and fluid, and it all came up instantly on the iPad. So, I have no complaints with it. And again, Cabletime, there's not really a model number on here, but definitely I'll have a link to the description, in the description of the video, so you guys can check this out and do all your own research on this. Make sure it's right for you. But overall, I've had nothing but positive things so far. I've only had it for a few weeks, and it's a great product so far. All right, for product number 2, we have another hub dock, but this one's more for a MacBook down here or for kind of an iMac over here, although it'll work with an iPad over here because it is USB-C, and so it'll work with all of them, to tell you the truth. And here it is. What do we call this? So this is the 15-in-1 multi-port docking station with 10 gigabit per second NVMe SSD enclosure built into it. And let me put the box over here. So on the website, if you take a look at the website, this is going for around $119, $119.99 right now. It's 20% off. Again, I'll have a link to this by Cabletime. So you're going to ask yourself, well, what makes this actually worth almost 120 bucks again? And I think this totally is, because this is one of my favorite hubs of all. I have a smaller version of this by a different company. It's completely different with the connections. It's sitting over there, but this one has so many more connections, and it has the same SSD built into it and all the key features, but it's got so many more ports that I think it's totally worth it. So let me go ahead and take the top of this off just to show you first of all, and put that down. So the key feature right off the bat is, you can see right in there, and I'll show you close-ups, but you can throw in an NVMe SSD in here, not a SATA one, but an NVMe drive in here, and you can get additional storage connected directly to your MacBook or your iMac over here, or any Mac that you have. So that works really well as long as it's got a USB-C connector. And again, with all these, this is a 10 gigabit per second as far as the enclosure. So you're going to roughly get, I'll show you some speeds, like 8 to 900, somewhere in that range, 8 to 900 megabytes per second is what you're really thinking on something like this. And it's plenty of speed to do like video editing, even off of at least some 4Ks, 4K 30, 4K maybe 60, and also just backups and stuff like that. It works flawlessly for. But I mean, you can throw in any drive in here. A couple things about this too is it does come with the thermal pad. I'll show you a close up of that. I don't have it on here, but even because I wanted to show you the drive, but even with that off, I mean, this thing it's got such good cooling because it's got a lot of room in there. It's got a metal top, and it's kind of, thermally it's pretty good. So I haven't even felt it get warm yet, and I've used it quite a bit. So overall, I would always use the thermal tape that it comes with, but I'm just saying, I think that the thermals are really good on this as well. Okay, but we've seen 10 gigabit per second enclosures. They're not worth $119, right? But this thing is so much more because it's got all these other really cool ports on it. So on one side over here, let's just go through what they are. We got a 10 gigabit per second USB-C. Then we got another 10 gigabit per second USB-A. We got the 2.5 millimeter jack for audio. We got two SD card readers, the standard and the TF card reader. Then we got, let me see here, we got a USB, two 5 gigabit per second USB-As again, and then a power button. So this side has just a ton of different ports you can plug into. And if you have something like a MacBook Air, this just gives you so many more opportunity to plug in almost anything you want at 5 or 10 gigabit per second. But we're not done yet. All right, so on the other side, there's actually some really cool features as well. It's got a 2.5 gigabit per second Ethernet port, not even 1 gigabit per second, but 2.5 gigabit. So that's really cool. Then it's got a slower USB-A port for like plugging in keyboards, 2 HDMI ports, display port, again, for monitors, external monitors. Then it's got your host port over here, USB-C, plugging that into your device like your MacBook. And then finally, it's got a 100-watt pass-through charging. So incredible, you can get up to 100-watt pass-through charging. You have to provide your own charger, but plug it in right there, and you can pass through the charging into your device. All right, we're not done there. Just one last port on this kind of end over here. It does have a Kensington lock if you want to keep it protected. Overall, it's a really solid package. And then we have the build quality of this as well. It's all aluminum on the outside of it. It does have a plastic bottom, but I think the top's aluminum as well. So it's got very good thermals as far as cooling the hard drive in it. And like I said, it has 15 different ports here, and you just can't go wrong with it. So if this sits on your desk next to your MacBook, you can imagine a MacBook Air, like I'm saying, or even I have an iMac over here with only a couple connections. Once you plug it into this thing, you have all the SD card readers, you have multiple USB-C, multiple USB-A, you have HDMI, all the different ports that you need. Plus you have up to storage you can throw in this thing, multiple terabyte drives in here for basically the NVMe drives that are super fast up. Obviously with this enclosure, you're only going to get up to that about 1,000 megabytes per second, but still it's a perfect device for a desk or something like that, and you don't really need much more than that. So I can completely justify the cost on this. It's one of the better products I've seen out there. It's better build quality and everything like that. And on top of it, Let me just grab this over here. It does come with about a 3-foot cord here as well. You can see about the length of that. I think it's 3 feet, which you can plug into your devices as well, which is really nice. And a couple other little things in the box and stuff like that, but nothing, instructions and stuff. So overall, do I recommend these products? Again, I'm only doing product showcases on these because I've had these only for a few weeks, but Cabletime reached out to me and I agreed to do it if I like the products, and I surely do like these products. I'm going to use both of them. I'm going to use this for my iPad. I'm going to use this for my, my MacBook for sure. I'm going to replace the other one I have over there because this has so many more ports and it gives me a lot more options. So if you're looking for some good stuff, I'll have a link to all this in the description. Definitely think about this. Again, don't think they only make cables. They make a whole bunch of other stuff, and it looks like it's all quality stuff right now. So you guys tell me, do your own research, and we'll talk to you in the next video, all right? I make videos, I think about 3 a week, somewhere in that range, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.